Hi, it's Dwyer from GamblersAdvisory.com. Let's get at it. There were some big fights happening this weekend. The first, and I believe this is going to be the fight of the weekend, has the person who may be the hardest puncher pound for pound in all of boxing, and that's Edwin Valero. And he is 24 and 0 with 24 knockouts. That's a 100% knockout ratio. And he's going up against Antonio Pitalua, who himself has an 81% knockout ratio. And that fight is for the vacant WBC lightweight title. Now, neither of these guys is a scientist. Neither is a technician of the sweet science. You're not going to confuse either of these guys with a Bernard Hopkins or someone of that skill level, a Sergio Martinez. These guys simply aren't fundamentally as sound as those fighters. But you'd be very hard pressed to find two harder hitters, two better knockout punchers. My prediction on this fight is to not take a winner. I believe the preferred play here is to take the under in the over under. In other words, if the over under is 6.5 rounds or more, you want to take the under because this fight simply will not go the distance. Edwin Valero has fought 24 times. None of his fights have gone the distance. Both fighters have vowed to make this a knockout fight. I do not believe either fighter is going to take a step back. Valero wants to make a name for himself in the United States. The best way for him to do that is by KO. I'm recommending the under in that fight. Now, the next fight is going to be a bit controversial because it gets to the nature of gambling. I want to talk about the WBC and WBO light welterweight title fight between Timothy Bradley and Kendall Holt. Now, first, let me tell you my philosophy on gambling. Um, I don't know who's going to win any given fight. Rather, I'm playing the odds in gambling. As gamblers know, the odds matter. So someone who might be a poor bet at a minus 105 or a minus 115 might be a great selection at a plus 400 or a plus 500 given the amount of risk involved. Now, Kendall Holt in this fight is a plus 155. In other words, the favorite in this fight is undefeated Timothy Bradley, who got his title by beating Junior Witter. That plus 155, I feel, is completely out of line with the reality. Um, to put it in perspective, a plus 150 means that the fighter receiving the plus 150 has only a 40% chance of winning the fight. This fight, at best, is a coin flip. Quite frankly, I believe that Kendall Holt should probably be favored in this fight. At plus 155, I believe you should take Kendall Holt, the underdog. Let me just point out that unlike Timothy Bradley, who has barely fought anyone, Kendall Holt fought David Diaz when David Diaz was undefeated. And by the way, this is the same David Diaz who Manny Pacquiao would later beat to win the lightweight title. Kendall Holt has fought Ricardo Torres twice. That's the same Ricardo Torres who, in a spirited matchup, once dropped Miguel Cotto, who then got off the canvas to win the fight. Kendall Holt also fought Demetrius Hopkins when Demetrius Hopkins was undefeated. I would just say that Timothy Bradley's biggest fight against Junior Witter, I always thought that Witter, the hitter, was more of a puncher than he was a boxer. Kendall Holt is actually the total package. Neither of these guys is a knockout puncher, but understand that Kendall Holt, when needed, can actually outbox his opponent. I do feel that Kendall Holt, too, has a height and a reach advantage that should not be overlooked. Kendall Holt is actually taller by 3 inches. over Timothy Bradley. Also, in terms of reach, Timothy Bradley's reach is 69 inches, Kendall Holt's is 74 inches, and Kendall Holt knows how to use his reach. They both have about the same amount of power. I believe the preferred play here at plus 155 is to take Kendall Holt. Um, this fight is a toss-up. Anytime you're going to get a 60% return on a coin flip, you need to take that. Okay? So to sum up, I like the under in the Edwin Valero Antonio Pitalua fight, and I like Kendall Holt at plus 155 in the WBO and WBC light welterweight title fight. Let us know your thoughts. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Also visit us at our other sites, soccer555.blogspot.com, cricket888.blogspot.com, cashupdate.info, america777.info. And as I always say, if we're wrong, punish us in the ratings here on YouTube, but if we're right, give us 5 stars. And remember, odds always matter. This isn't a matter of simply picking winners. You want to pick winners at the right price. I don't believe I'd be doing my job if all I did was show up and take favorites. That's not really what gambling's about. Gambling is about your rate of return. The plus 155 on Kendall Holt is very attractive. Quite frankly, if that line drops, as I suspect it will shortly before the fight, if you're getting anything north of plus 125 on Kendall Holt, I think that's a good bet. Good luck, and remember, always use your head.